All right. Good day. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Live the Fuel show. Tonight is a special episode. It'll be short and sweet, but I'm going to hit on some important points. It is the 400th episode of this show. 400. Now, granted, I already have other shows in the tank standing by, but you got to interrupt it every once in a while and go solo, especially since I found this show how many years ago now? 400 shows. Well, for the new listeners who might be listening to this exact episode, we fuel your health, your business, and your lifestyle here at the Live the Fuel podcast show. This brand stands for the importance of balancing all these domains: health, business, lifestyle. You can simplify things down to those three important domains, aka a trifecta of balance. So I bring on guest co-hosts over the years to help me rock the mic, and every so often I go solo. And I keep saying I'm going to do more of that. But anyway, back to my point. 400 shows. Lots been going on. I'm actually recording this in January 2023. Actually, the next 3 shows that I'll be releasing were already recorded in December. But anyway, that being said, thank you for any loyal subscribers. Thank you for those of you who have been loyal subscribers and rolled with me during the break, so to speak, the transition while I wrote the book. So that's right. The nice little signage behind me here. So you want to be a hotshot, that released a year ago on Amazon. I need to finish the audiobook. As an audiobook consumer, I literally want to kick my own ass. So on that note, though, it is available in Audible. It is available. I say it will be available in Audible. It is available in obviously digital book or physical print on Amazon. You can go to hotshotbook.com. It'll take you directly to that listing. So that being said, I've been very busy. Start to the new year, lots going on. I hope you guys, you ladies, are all out there also being busy and putting the hustle in. But I wanted to start the show off, besides thanks, by also giving a public service announcement. Something I never thought would happen to me happened to me last month. A case of identity theft. So hopefully this never happens to you. But I'm going to jump right into it so we don't spend too much time on it. I actually have the photographs of the criminal too, by the way. This is a hell of a backstory. So roll with me. And then hopefully you share this, because I'm actually going to be tagging the police department on Facebook when I post this video tonight, because they've already put it out on their Crime Watch site. And I promise to help promote this in the online world. I don't believe in thievery. I don't believe in stealing what you didn't earn. So for people out there who get attacked of all race, color, sex, age, doesn't matter, y'all need to be shut down and earn your way. So that little stance said, here's a quick summary. Right before Christmas, actually, I'm looking at the Facebook post now, actually. If anybody who's actually friends with me on Facebook, most of my posts actually go public, so you didn't have to be friends with me on Facebook. Let me screenshot real quick for the YouTube feed. There we go. December 6th, 2022, I had just gotten home and did a quick live video. Actually, and right before that, earlier that night, I did a live video right at the store where this whole crime went down. So that being said, you can go back and look at those. But again, tonight I'll backlink the link to the police department posting on Crime Watch's site. So I only need to stop screen sharing there. So here's the quick summary. People can steal your identity, aka hijack your account, aka your profile, from the cell phone provider's store. So here's something. I've been with all the carriers. Heck, I used to work for T-Mobile years ago as a coach and a business manager and a consultant. So I understand that world. But when I put advanced security on my account, when you call into customer care and the website, you would think that would trickle down to the storefront. Did not, because apparently 2 to 3 years ago, they decided to add an additional layer of protection stating that, yeah, you have to ask for a passcode at the store physically in person if you ever go into a store. So the employee will have to ask me for my passcode. Well, to my knowledge, I assumed that all advanced security at the website through customer service, same passcode, would follow through at the store. This didn't happen. I didn't know they added this officially 2-3 years ago, and you have to physically call them or visit a store or just do it over the phone and tell them, I want to enable in-person security, asking for a passcode so nobody can access my account. Let's know what that is. So there's you can stop listening to the show right now, and there's your tip. Please go to your cell phone provider, call them over the phone, visit them in the store, make sure you have in-person passcodes enabled, because here's the short skinny on why. I was traveling in New Jersey, Southern Jersey, almost 3 hours away from home. It was that day, December 6th, when I made these live posts from my home office once I got home from the debacle. All of a sudden, my phone shut down. It said 911 only. Actually, I forget the exact code on my iPhone, but I have a brand new, i13 Pro. And I was like, okay. Now, because I understand this technology, I assume, oh, the SIM card failed. Because for those of you who don't know, if you don't have a SIM card in your phone, or so I thought, you cannot connect to the carrier network. But out of FCC regulation years ago, they made sure that 911 was available to everybody, right? You should always be able to reach an emergency person. So that being said, I figured the SIM card failed. I lost connection with the network. I took the SIM card in and out of the phone. I rebooted this phone multiple times. Finally, I said, you know what? I'm not far from the interstate. Here's another little public service announcement tip. Don't be dependent on your GPS. You always have a rough idea where you're at, north, south, east, west, as far as the direction, because God forbid you break down, or God forbid your phone completely shuts down and you have no way to call anybody, which happened to me. You should at least be able to understand where you're at and how to get back to, for example, to the interstate, because I was 3 hours from home. So I did that. I knew where I was. I said, you know what? And just in case, here's another third part of the public service announcement tip. Your phone could not work at all. However, because if you have a smartphone, a Droid, Apple, now granted, I test this on iPhone. I knew if I pulled into a Starbucks, and because I knew where I was actually in Lakewood, New Jersey. That's right. I knew where I was. I turned the car around, went right to the Starbucks just to cover my butt, just in case, to get me to the interstate. I pulled into the parking lot, hopped on the Starbucks Wi-Fi for free, and then went on the Maps apps and enabled the address to get me home, just to get me to the interstate. Once I got to the highway, I was fine. I knew exactly all the interstates to get me back through Philadelphia and back north here to Allentown, Pennsylvania. So that being said, I got on the internet, enabled the GPS. Actually, I enabled Apple Maps and Google Maps and made sure they were both running in the background on my phone, just in case. Pulled out of the parking lot. Now, again, still have no cell phone signal. I can only call 911. So can't text, can't call customer service to find out why. Now I could have GPS myself to a local AT&T store, but I was like, you know what? I want to get home. I know 2 stores I could go to within 10 minutes of my home. And then once I'm there, I could figure out what the heck's going on. So I just went home. Went right to the AT&T store out here in Western Allentown, Pennsylvania. Walked in and basically said, hey, my phone, I think the SIM card failed. I need a new SIM. And he's like, oh, well, we're moving everybody over to these eSIMs now. We don't physically need a SIM card. That was something else I learned. So I was like, okay, whatever. Give me access to my account, blah, blah, blah. I haven't been able to use the phone in 3 hours. Luckily, I knew how to get home. And I said, oh, by the way, here's a quick rewind. While I was in the Starbucks parking lot, I quickly hopped into my email because I had free internet. And I noticed an email from, the alert system saying Samsung Pay now activated. But I use an Apple device and I had Apple Pay enabled on my phone. So maybe you can see where this is going. So the thief went to another AT&T store. I'm going to jump right to the plot. Said he was me, had a fake ID from another state with my name on it. And he was not even my race, which, again, I don't care about your race. We're all equal. But I'm like, definitely was not me. But anyway, went into the store because I didn't have in-person password enabled. He had my name. All they do is they scan your ID and make sure it actually scans and your name comes up. And that's it. Now, I think the guy should have double-checked the address on my account because I'm a Pennsylvania resident and this thief had a New Jersey ID with whatever. So anyway, got on my account, said he lost the phone. They basically transferred everything over to a new SIM and put it inside of a Samsung phone. And I don't know if he bought one that day or if he brought his own Samsung phone. Maybe he said he had an old backup phone, but they gave him my account, which is why my phone died. I had no way to connect to the cell phone networks because my SIM was relocated, AKA hijacked, AKA stolen. So long story short there, while I was in that parking lot, I saw that Samsung Pay activated. I'm like, that's weird. Why would I get Samsung Pay? I have a Samsung TV, but Apple Pay, digital currency connections, portals that are on the Apple devices like the iPhone. Like, I didn't know. I was like, what, did it translate and become Samsung Pay? So again, couldn't get help with that until I got home. So as soon as I mentioned that to the store guy, he's pretty savvy. He's like, whoa, wait a minute. He's like, hold on, give me access to your account, blah, blah. He confirmed my security, apparently better than the thief store that it happened at. And he confirmed that my SIM card had been transferred 3 hours earlier. And I was like, well, I'm here now. The address on my license matches my account. You can see the photograph. And here's all my other passwords, addresses, securities, yada, yada, yada. So we hijacked my account back, which killed his stolen Samsung version of my account. But here's the thing, because Apple Pay was activated when he stole my account, activated it on a Samsung SIM, whatever, SIM into the Samsung, apparently your whole account, including Apple, goes with it. Now, I would think that Apple would require a whole new security login because I just changed devices. So I think there's a little hiccup in their security right there. Like just moving your account from AT&T onto a new SIM card, why would everything move that seamlessly? Especially if it's called Apple Pay, meaning it's tied to your bank accounts. Anyway, I did have a credit card tied to Apple Pay. So in the 3 hours that he hijacked my account, he went on a shopping spree. And he basically tested it at a Staples and I'm going to show you his photographs, by the way, in a minute. A Staples, and here's where I'm connecting it all forward so you can see his photos. A Staples, then a Dick's, $200-300 expenditures, so he knew it worked. Then went on to an Apple store directly, $1,500 there, so he probably bought a brand new top-of-the-line iPhone. Then went next door at the mall, at the Lehigh Valley Mall here in Allentown, Pennsylvania. This all happened local, ladies and gentlemen, local. Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, Lehigh Valley Mall. Went to Murphy's Jewelers. Showed him his ID because the phone could be used as a digital wallet. Bought a over $1,200 necklace for his supposed girlfriend. And then finally went to Best Buy, but luckily I had already gotten to the AT&T store, right? Shut the account down. His phone died, moved everything back, killed Apple Pay, called my Chase credit card, killed the account. So the card can no longer be used. But right when I called them, they did confirm after the ones that did clear, they got him at Best Buy and started freezing transactions. Yeah, that's a lot of money to be spent in less than 24 hours. So long story short, I ran up over $4,000 in expenditures on my account. Thief. So now that I fast forward that story, let me rewind real quick before I show his photos. Please enable in-person password security. Why not have all the security enabled as possible? Because, as I've just told you, this guy, let me zoom in on him here. This is one of the photographs that we tracked down from the security cameras. This guy claims that he was Scott Mulvaney with a New Jersey ID. Now, this guy does not look like me at all. I'm 6'4". This guy is probably 5'4". Clearly a different, race and color, which again, I love you all. I don't care. But that is not me. And my name is Scott William Mulvaney. I mean, it's pretty damn Irish. I don't think he looks Irish. I will say this. In the photograph, look at that. He's got a little shot of espresso there. This photo, by the way, was taken from the security cameras at Murphy's Jewelers where he stole a $1,200 necklace. But I do agree. I do like his espresso. So I appreciate his bougie little option there while he's shopping like a fancy man on my credit card. I do agree with the espresso, but then he was drinking a nice champagne, I found out from the store manager. So I'm not a champagne guy. My wife likes it. But so if you really want to pull me off, coffee, espresso, absolutely. Maybe a nice scotch. Not champagne. I think that's a little too foo-foo for me. So sorry, I'm not into it. Anyway, so this is the guy. And I have other photographs here too, by the way. That's just one that I opened up here. But anyway, so this guy basically, and again, by the way, the AT&T store that he bought him from, here's another shot of him. It's kind of blurry. As you can see here, he's got some short dreads popping out of his hood. And I know he definitely has dreads because let me fast forward the story. Met the guy. Yeah. Not done yet. So I'm giving you all his photographs so you can remember what this guy looks like. Because again, if you listen or watch locally here in Allentown, Pennsylvania, this guy could be hurting other people. And here's the photograph taken from the security feed where he walked in with a buddy of his. So these two dudes were together. They came in together, went through the jewelry store together, and then he went shopping on my again through his Samsung phone that was hijacked from Apple Pay, that was hijacked through my account migration. Crazy. So I'm going to go back to this better shot, zoom in for you, and we'll go from there. So that being said, let me zoom in again here for the police department because I'm going to share this video and I appreciate them. Lower Saucon Township Police. Thank you. There's multiple people at work here. But again, I'll fast forward to end the story here. As soon as I got my account back and shut everything down, I had the guy run a report and print it for me. Turns out he went to it was not a brand, it wasn't a factory-owned store. It was an AT&T service partner, whatever store, over in Hellertown, Pennsylvania. And so I got the address, confirmed the sales guy's name, who did it, Miguel, and drove there 20 minutes later. I believe in if I can at least help the police nail somebody within 24 hours or less, that keeps everything hot. So I'm like, all right, I'm not police, but I am going to jump on this. Called them. They were busy with a couple burglaries. So I was like, you know what? I'm confronting the guy. I walk in with the printout. This freaking kid is there. Now, I don't know who he is yet, but this kid's there. He came back. He came back to try and get in my account, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not kidding you. And so anyway, so I go, hey, who's Miguel? There's only one other guy in the store. It's now after 5 p.m. It's pouring down rain outside, very dark. I waited in the parking lot and called the police to let them know I was there. I was going to have them join me, and they said they couldn't meet. So I was like, well, okay, fine. I'm going to go and at least confront the guy, find out as much information I can, and then I'll swing by your department to make a report. So again, shout out to a great team. They're working on this case right now. They got a detective on it. It's crazy. So this guy basically came back to try and get it back into my account, and he was there. I got there like probably 5:05. He got there 5 minutes before me. I walk in the door. I'm like, hey, excuse me, who's Miguel? And Miguel puts his hand up. He's like, hey, the sales guy. He goes, yeah, I'm Miguel. Can I help you, sir? And I held up the paper as I'm walking into the store, and I go out loud. I said, do you enjoy helping people steal people's identities? Because this is so elaborate. I'm like, the store's got to be in on it. I don't know, So this other kid that I'm screen sharing right now gets out of his chair and starts walking around, like pacing uncomfortably. I'm not really realizing it. He's the dude. As I walk closer to Miguel, I'm like, well, blah, blah, blah. Here's what's happened. I just got my account back. Over $4,000 has already been charged up. Now, all of a sudden, this kid in my background just saying, wasn't me. And I'm like, dude, who are you? What are you talking about? I'm talking to Miguel here. I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, he can help you in a minute. You got up out of the chair. It's my turn. Don't realize that he's the freaking kid. That's why he's saying it wasn't me, because I'm all fired up right now. As I get closer to the table, there's an ID laying on the table. And I don't know, this is the fake ID. But then all of a sudden, in the corner of my eye, this kid's coming up. So as I'm still talking to Miguel, he reaches across the table. I take a step back in case I got to get into shit, because I don't realize that this is the guy. I'm like, why is he coming at me like this? Grabs the ID and heads to the front door. And Miguel then looks at me and looks at him, looks back at me. He's like, that's him. But anyway, as he grabbed the ID at the corner of my eye, I saw it. It was Scott Mulvaney. I'm like, get the hell out of here. Scott Mulvaney, New Jersey ID with this kid's face on it. I'm like, well, this is fake as hell. So once all of a sudden everything clicks, I was like, holy crap. So I head to the front door, but he's already gone. And it's, he's into the night. It's pouring torrential down rain. I'm like, down rain. It's crazy. So I go back in. I'm like, Miguel, start writing down everything you noticed about him, what he was wearing, what you remember. This is the second occurrence today, obviously, because he was here 3 hours ago. And Miguel was like, yep, yeah, he definitely was. He's like, he didn't look like a Scott Mulvaney. And I'm like, all right, write it all down. I was like, I'm filing a police report on this. They will be coming here to interview you. I need everything you could think of about him. I was like, I did remember him wearing that silly fake couture, fancy pants hoodie. But his hood was down at the store, and he had dreads, and the photo on the license had dreads, and it had little blonde bleached tips. So there's the other tip. He's like bleaching basically the first couple inches of his dreads. So that's why I'm sharing this photo. I don't know who he is. The police think he's actually local. So he said, just because we're using a New Jersey ID, we're only 20 minutes from New Jersey. Maybe New Jersey IDs are easier to hack. I don't know. So that's the point of my 400th show. I appreciate long-term listeners and watchers on YouTube. I appreciate the new listeners and watchers who found the show. Please protect yourself. Please be smart with your IDs, your passcodes, everything. People are getting savvy. I think this kid is a part of a team. That other guy that was caught on camera at the jewelry store, right? That all that happened in less than 3 hours, right? So this guy could have been driving this kid around. I don't know. Help us catch him, though. Share this post when I post it. Share this video. Share this podcast episode number 400 from Live the Fuel. And I'll close you guys out with this because I got dinner cooking down the hall when the wife gets back. A lot of things happened this past year with my family, with friends' families. not in a positive way. Financial despair, failing businesses, other friends, families, mental health, alcoholism, all kinds of things. It's 2023. I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I just keep hustling. So just remind yourself that. Keep hustling. The world's going to keep throwing negative crap at us, right? But we have a choice of sitting there wallowing in self-misery and just laying there and dealing with it, or barely dealing with it, I should say. Or it's like, okay, I'm going to go move right into a positive step and move forward. I can't change the past. I can't change what already happened. All I can do is better fortify my family, my wife, our lovely Riva, the pup. And that's right, we have a new puppy. She's 7 months old now, but keep pushing forward. Don't stop. Don't pause in the present, because the present becomes the past. You have to keep moving forward. Positive mindset. Like this guy stole my identity. Okay, luckily it was tied to a credit card. They canceled, reversal of the charges. It's over $4,000. He's definitely going to be, grand theft. Yada yada yada. But I'm like, okay, I'm healthy. I work hard. I can make more money. If for some reason I couldn't got that money back. All these other things. I learned about new layers of security. So let's keep moving forward. And by the way, again, if anybody has any new podcast guest hosts you guys want to recommend, you can always contact me. Scott at livethefuel.com is the main podcast email. Again, I got a few more guest co-hosts coming up. I've already got locked in. Return from Dr. Anthony Chafee from down in Australia. We're bringing him back to dig into the carnivore lifestyle, the health of carnivore and meat eating. And then who else I got here? I got Thomas Keenan came back on the show. I had him on a while back. I've also got, who else I got here? Actually, I'm sorry, I got Tomas coming up. So sorry. Yeah. After Dr. Anthony Chafee, I got Bryce Henson, another health influencer. And then, Thomas Keenan was already recorded. So I'll have him coming up after Bryce. So guys, it's been a while. Let's keep hustling and let's keep moving forward. And let's keep our security dialed in. Let's stay healthy. And I'm going to close out with one last little plug besides hotshotbook.com for the book. It is for charity, people. But I am going to share our Instagram feed for Riva. That's right. If you're on Instagram, you can follow her, Riva, R-I-V as in Victor A, the Vizsla, V-I-Z as in zebra, S-L-A, Riva the Vizsla on Instagram. She's about to break her first 100 followers, 99. That's right. I'm a dog geek. Deal with it. And, that's right. Yesterday, our puppy graduated from school. That's right. I don't have human babies, but she attended the Leader of the Pack Canine Institute. Really, my wife, Kristen, in this photo pretty much did most of the work. I did go to the non-dog night where all the parents had to be there and go through a PowerPoint presentation about dog linguistics, language, understanding mannerisms. And so I got to go through probably the hard one. So anyway, feel free to follow Riva the Vizsla. She's awesome. And anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to fuel your health, your business, and your lifestyle. Thanks for letting me steal your ear for episode 400. I hope I shared something positive to help you or help anybody close to you protect yourself from identity theft from these fancy smants, people nowadays. So again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for following. Please get me your 5-star reviews on iTunes or Spotify. We're everywhere. Thank you for supporting the show and more to come. All right. Remember, we're here to fuel your health, your business, and your lifestyle. Thanks for tuning in and stay tuned for the next episode at livethefuel.com.